Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I have my May reading plans for you where I will try and keep it somewhat reasonable, but highly unlikely. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. May happens to have one of my favorite readathons in it, which is the Asian Readathon, which is hosted by with Cindy. It's in celebration of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which goes from May 1st to May 31st. So it's a wonderful event where you can read books from pretty much authors in any Asian country, and Cindy has a lot of resources that go through and talk about what countries, book recommendations, reading groups, events, a ton of different information that is in a Google Doc. I will leave her channel, her announcement video, all in my description for you so you can go and check it out and see if there's something in there that you want to participate in. But I love this event mainly because my husband happens to be from an Asian country, and it is something that pushed me last year to start my channel when I did because I really wanted to participate. So I'm excited that I get to participate for the second year. There are 5 challenges or 5 prompts for you or for the event, and I have a few books. Some of these may end up being possibilities, and some of these are actual books that I have signed up for, buddy reads or my book club pick as well. So I'm just going to go through the prompts and talk about the book. So the first book is read a book written by an Asian author. Now, all of the books I'm going to show you qualify for that prompt. So we'll kind of skip that one for now and come back to it. Prompt number 2 is read a book featuring an Asian character who is a woman and or older. So this is where my 1001 book club pick comes in, and that pick is Wild Swans by Chang. It is written definitely by a woman. It is also featuring 3 different age groups of women, 3 different generations of women. And so it's the real life saga of a Chinese family over 3 generations. So very interested in this one. I've heard that this book is excellent. I am very excited to read this one as part of my book club. If you're not familiar with my book club, I'll leave a card for you so you can go check out the original video. I'll also leave a link to my Discord where you can go out, and I have a channel all set up to talk about this book. There's no particular reading schedule for this book. You can read it at whatever tempo makes sense to you. And the chat, that's part of why I like Discord, is because you'll hide spoilers and just contribute to the conversation when you get to the book. But Wild Swans is the first one. Very, very interested in reading this one. It should be, I had it actually on my possibles list for last year and never got to it. So yeah, but this year I'm obligated to read this one since it's for my, my book club. The next book really just qualifies for the first prompt, which is read a book written by an Asian author, and that is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. I will be reading this with Fraser Simon, Springboard Thought. I will leave his channel linked in the description for you as well. I have a hit or miss relationship with Murakami. Sometimes I like the books, and sometimes I'm like, why in the world am I reading this? This book is also by far the chunkiest book that I have on my list for May. I don't know when we'll be starting this yet. Because I haven't finished Moby Dick yet, and I'm pretending like The Luminaries isn't a book I need to finish, but 1Q84 is my next book, and Murakami, I believe, is a Japanese author. Okay, so the next book is for prompt number 3, which is read a book by an Asian author that has a universe you would want to experience, or a universe that is totally different from yours. So the book is actually a sequel, which is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. This is the sequel to this lovely book, These Violent Delights. These are set in 1920s Shanghai, certainly an environment that is completely different than my world. This also happens to qualify for the next prompt, which is read a book by an Asian author that has a cover worthy of googly eyes. These are so pretty. But I don't have to read this one. I only have to read this one. So yeah, Our Violent Ends. This is one of the ones that is in the possible if I have time. Also, if I want a break from reading a heavy book, this one might be a good one. Where we left off in the last book was, at at a kind of a little bit of a cliffhangery type point. So we'll see how this one goes, but this one certainly qualifies for a world that is very different from mine. I don't know that I would want to experience it based on how the last book ended, but that is the next one. And then another book worthy of googly eyes, which is again the prompt number 4, is one I had planned to read in April and didn't quite get to, which is the Memoirs of Lady Hyegyong. And this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at how pretty this book is. I just love this book so much. I think it is so soft. I will be doing this as a buddy read with Britta Bowler. We were supposed to start it in April. And completely my fault. I didn't have a lot of time, and it's just one that kept getting pushed out. And then now we'll start it after May 5th. So, but we are picking this one up because we read The Red Queen by Margaret Drabble, which is actually a retelling of this actual memoir. And so both Britta and I really wanted to read this story, the actual memoirs, after reading that horrible book. Hopefully this one is better, but this is definitely worthy of googly eyes. So pretty. And then the last one is read a book by an Asian author that has a high rating or was highly recommended. So this one, I am going with a book that was recommended by another booktuber. And this is recommended by Book Talks with Mrs. Thomas. And the book is Funny in Farsi by Firuze Dumas. My husband happens to be Iranian, so I was very happy to have a book from that particular Asian country in my reading plans. It's also very short and hopefully very humorous, and will be a good break from some of the heavier books that I have coming up in my TBR. But thank you so much for recommending me this book, Thea, and I will leave her channel linked in the description as well for you, so you can go and check her out. But I'm very excited to pick up this one. So I speak a smattering of Farsi, meaning I can say, stop, I'm full, and that was delicious. And how are you, I think. Very small smattering of Farsi. So those are really the books that I have for the Asian Readathon. A couple optional ones, a couple buddy reads, and my book club feels pretty manageable. If I were to pick up, in some magic I had more time, I would certainly look at this one, An Artist of the Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is one that is fairly short. It would help me get caught up on my 1001 book countdown books a little bit. So we'll see. I'm not committed to this one. This is in the maybe pile at this particular point in time, but it is fairly short. And I don't know much about it, but this would be another one that could be for the Asian Readathon, but we'll see. And then I have 2 other buddy reads scheduled. The first one is with the lovely Courtney Ferreter, and we will be reading Call It Sleep by Henry Roth. This is a 1001 book club pick, not book club. This is a 1001 book countdown pick. I added it to my 2022 reading list for that specifically because of Courtney Ferreter. I saw this book on her channel, knew it was on my list, and asked if she wanted to read it together, and we will be reading it in May. So I'm very excited to pick this one up. I know nothing about this one. As usual for the 1001 books, I tend to go into them pretty blind just to see how I feel about them, but this will be my other buddy read. It is not too bad from as far as size of a book, so hopefully we're still working out the schedule for this one, but Call It Sleep by Henry Roth. And then the last buddy read I have is with Kristen from Enter the Book, and I believe we're reading this one, Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Kristen was kind enough to message me this morning, and then I realized I didn't write down the book that we're supposed to read. It's either this one or it's this one. So I'm waiting for Kristen to message me back and confirm which one. I don't know how I didn't write it down, but yeah, one of these 2 is what we're reading, but neither one of these are particularly big, so I'm excited to pick up, and I want to pick up and read both of these. I picked these up at a half-price bookstore, so I'm very excited that I'm clearing not an older book, but clearing a book off of my shelf. So one of those 2, I don't know which one. It definitely is not both of them, so yeah, hopefully I'll know which one that is fairly soon. And then as far as the rest of the 1001 book countdown, I'm making such good progress on Moby Dick. I almost lied and said I was almost done. I'm not almost done. I'm halfway through. But I am making exceptional progress on this particular book, and with the goal of being almost, or I think done by the first week in May is what the schedule will put us at, or pretty close to that. So it's still really entertaining, lovely Moby Dick, unless you get to a whale chapter where there's, yeah. It's a lot. So other than that, I just have two Booktube Prize books left to read, which is wonderful. One I have started, which is A Little Devil in America. So this one is one that I should have actually finished before the end of April, which will be great, which means I will only go into May with one Booktube Prize book, which will be The Doctor's Blackwell by Janice P. Nomura. And so I feel really, really good about where I'm at with the Booktube Prize and fitting these last two books in. I don't feel as much pressure now, and thank you. I don't feel as much pressure now to get these ones read. But those are all I have left now, which is incredible. I have read 4, I have 2 left. And those are really my reading plans. I mean, some of these, like I said, I'm not obligated to read, so we'll see how I do. I have been struggling a little bit lately in wanting to pick up a book, and that is hugely problematic when you have a lot of books to read. And so I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of a break over the next week and finish Moby Dick and kind of go from there. So I think what I may end up doing again is picking up just a light, easy, fun read like I did a couple weeks ago, and just read something to reset my brain, and then maybe I can pick up some of these. But I've made such good progress on my Booktube Prize books. Yeah, I feel like I'm in great shape for May. We'll see. We'll see how May develops. I don't have enough short books planned to get caught up on the book countdown, which is concerning. Maybe June. Maybe June, I'll make June be the month of short books for the countdown. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's a good idea. Well, and that is my May reading plans. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.